Hello friends. What is the danger of overpopulation of the Earth? In the modern consumer world, even 8 billion people leave a serious imprint on our planet. What will happen if we assume there will be a decillion people on it? The spaces on our planet are limited. Yes, and the resources necessary to maintain life will eventually run out, but let's start small, so to speak. There are 150 million square kilometers of land on Earth and 350 million square kilometers of water on Earth. As a maximum, we can allocate only a third of the land for public use, the rest will have to be given for technical needs. As a result, we have 50 million square kilometers, or 50 trillion square meters. How many people can be physically accommodated in such a territory? If we consider that one person needs 20 square meters for a more or less comfortable life, then it turns out 2.5 trillion people. But if the people of the future will build 100-story skyscrapers alone, then theoretically it is possible to fit 250 trillion people. Of course, we will have to forget about some standard 9-story buildings and cozy quiet streets. However, according to Romanian researcher Viorel Badescu, due to technological progress, the Earth's population can be increased by 200,000 times, which will amount to about 1.5 quadrillion people. What is this fraught with? Futurologist Richard Cathcart, Doctor of Geography from California, is quite pessimistic in his forecasts. We will live like herrings in a barrel. When 1 quadrillion people live on Earth, it will look like the Death Star from the movie Star Wars. Most people will live in skyscrapers with 500 floors, half of which will be underground. Daylight will be an exceptional luxury, after all, on the territory of the oceans, which will be populated by this moment, it will be necessary to install giant overlaps and seal the Earth's expanses hermetically. The entire surface will be covered with solar energy collectors and reflectors, giving people the opportunity to control the sunlight and its temperature inside. At the same time, there will be about 25,000 people per 1 square kilometer of the Earth's surface. According to scientists, there will be no problems with food, thanks to the achievements of genetics and biotechnology. There is also no need to worry about water, since there are desalinators and ocean water. And in general, literally tomorrow it will be possible to consume products grown artificially or accelerated. As for fuel, German historian and political scientist Susan Hain believes that if all people on Earth consume as much energy as the inhabitants of developed countries, then oil will run out quickly. According to preliminary forecasts, it will be enough somewhere around 2090. And what will happen with a decillion people? For reference, decillion is a unit with 33 zeros or 1000 quadrillion. In general, just a huge number of inhabitants. In this case, everything will look like some kind of fantasy movie, where on some overpopulated planets, hive cities were built on top of each other. In such a world it would be impossible to survive without innovation. By that time, it would be good to develop inexhaustible sources of energy based on the theory of ether. Also learn how to synthesize food from ether and all the necessary elements of the periodic table. What Tesla dreamed of at the time, and of course to create an anti-gravity engine that would allow people to move from the surface of the Earth on millions of huge spaceships. Then the housing issue would be completely resolved. But let's go back to the modern world. Having reached the 11 billion mark, humanity is likely to slow down its growth, says ecologist candidate of biological sciences Sviatoslav Zabalin. This is a law of nature, the biosphere of the planet itself regulates the population. Having reached a certain limit, the population of the planet will begin to decline for natural reasons. The same mechanism works in other living beings. Ultimately, everything will depend on how society organizes its life. Will it be able to abandon the barbaric attitude towards each other and start building a wonderful future for everyone together, develop new technologies or build military equipment to take away from others those crumbs that are still left? Current estimates of the planet's ability to feed the maximum number of people reach up to 100 billion. According to the calculations of demographers, the population growth will stop at around 14 billion, after which a decline will begin. Or does new technology allow you to step over this limit?